The 50-30-20 rule is ruining your life, and you do not even realize it. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. Sounds perfect. It is not, because this rule was built for a world that does not exist anymore. It was created in 2005 by a Harvard professor named Elizabeth Warren. Back then, the average rent in America was $760 a month. Today, it is over $2,000. Back then, nobody had a Netflix subscription, a Spotify plan, a gym membership that auto-renews, and 3 streaming services they forgot they signed up for. Back then, student loan debt in America was $400 billion. Today, it is $1.77 trillion. The world that rule was built for does not exist anymore. But here is the part that really matters. The 50-30-20 rule does not just fail because the numbers are outdated. It fails because of how your brain works. And that is what nobody is telling you. But here is the part that actually makes this dangerous. The first problem is something psychologists call the labeling effect. When you label 30% of your income as wants, your brain gets a permission slip. It says, okay, I have this budget for fun, I should spend it. And studies show that people with a dedicated wants budget actually spend more on impulse purchases than people without any budget at all. That sounds backwards, but think about it. Without a budget, every purchase triggers a small pain response in your brain. You think, should I really buy this? But when you have a wants budget, that pain disappears. You already gave yourself permission. The 30% becomes a floor, not a ceiling. And your brain will find creative ways to hit that floor every single month. This is not a willpower problem. This is a design problem. The rule itself is working against your psychology. But it gets worse. The second problem is the 50% needs category. And this is where the rule really falls apart. Because the line between needs and wants has become almost impossible to draw. Is your phone a need or a want? You need it for work, for banking, for communication. But you also use it for social media, for games, for shopping. Is your car a need? Maybe. But is the car payment on a $40,000 SUV a need? Or did your brain trick you into thinking you needed something you actually just wanted? This is called category creep. Your brain slowly reclassifies wants as needs. That coffee every morning becomes a need because you cannot function without it. That food delivery app becomes a need because you do not have time to cook. That premium internet plan becomes a need because you work from home sometimes. And before you know it, your 50% needs category is eating 70% of your income. But you still feel like you are following the rule. You are not overspending on wants. You just have a lot of needs. At least, that is what your brain tells you. Here is where it gets really interesting. The third problem is the 20% savings rule. And this might be the most dangerous part of all, because 20% sounds responsible. It sounds like enough, but is it? If you start saving 20% of a $50,000 salary at age 25, you will have about $1.2 million by age 65. It sounds like a lot, until you realize that after inflation, that is less than $2,000 a month in retirement. That is what the 50-30-20 rule actually gets you. A retirement where you are counting every dollar. And here is the cruel part. By the time you realize 20% was not enough, you have already spent 30 years following the rule. You did everything right, and it still was not enough. So if the 50-30-20 rule is broken, what actually works? This is where behavioral psychology gives us a much better answer. Instead of splitting your money into 3 neat categories, there is a principle that actually works with your brain instead of against it. It is called pay yourself first. And the difference is not just mathematical, it is psychological. Here is how it works. The moment your paycheck hits your account, A fixed amount moves automatically to savings and investments. Before you see it, before you touch it, before your brain can negotiate, the key word is automatically. Because every financial decision you make manually is a battle against your own psychology. Your brain has what scientists call a present bias. It values money today more than money tomorrow. $100 right now feels more valuable than $150 next month. Even though you know, logically, that 150 is more. Your brain does not care about logic. It cares about right now. Automation removes your brain from the equation entirely. You cannot spend what you never see, but pay yourself first is only half the answer. The second part is what researchers call the anti-budget. Instead of tracking every dollar into categories, you do the opposite. You automate your savings first. You pay your fixed bills, and whatever is left, you spend on whatever you want. No guilt, no categories, no mental accounting. This sounds irresponsible, but research from the Journal of Consumer Psychology shows that people who use this method save on average 30% more than people who use traditional budgets. Because traditional budgets create decision fatigue. Every purchase becomes a mental calculation. Which category does this go in? Am I over budget? Should I feel guilty? That exhaustion leads to what psychologists call ego depletion. Your willpower runs out, and when willpower runs out, you binge spend. You have been good all week, so you deserve that $200 jacket. The anti-budget eliminates this cycle completely. Your savings are already handled. Your bills are already paid. The rest is yours. No guilt, no tracking, no collapse. But there is one more thing that makes this work. And it is the most counterintuitive part. You need to increase your savings rate by 1% every 6 months. Not 5%, not 10%, 1%. This uses a psychological principle called the boiling frog effect. A 1% change is so small that your brain does not register it as a loss. You do not feel the difference between saving 20% and saving 21%. But over 5 years, that 1% every 6 months turns 20% into 30%. And that changes everything. Remember that retirement calculation? At 30% savings with the same salary and return, you end up with about $1.8 million. That is $675,000 in today dollars. $33,000 per year in retirement. Almost 50% more than the 50-30-20 rule would give you, and you barely felt the difference along the way. So here is what this all comes down to. The 50-30-20 rule is not evil. It was a good idea for a different time, but it was designed for a world where rent was $700, where subscriptions did not exist, and where your brain was not being hijacked by 1,000 apps designed to make you spend. The world changed. The rule did not. And the people still following it are slowly falling behind without even knowing it. The real rule is simpler than 50-30-20. Automate first. Spend what is left. Increase by 1%. That is it. No spreadsheets, no guilt, no categories. Just a system that works with your brain instead of against it. And the next rule is even worse. Most people never recover from it.